when the bill passes, and if it was a super majority vote, which I'm thinking it will be. So historic, just historic.
Yeah,
That's
Kareem.
awesome.
The number one thing that's exciting about this, Kareem, is El Salvador is on the map, and I think I can tell you there's I posted a thing about like, hey, who wants to go to El Salvador? I can help you set up a bank account. And a bunch of companies reached out, and I think a lot more people are interested in your country now. I think El Salvador's like narrative. It's El Salvador has like 30 minutes of a 4-hour day now in terms of like the news cycle.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty overwhelming. We are a small country, of course, but yeah, I mean if you want to move forward, we don't want the country just to grow 2% of the GDP each year, and then we die, and the same things happen every generation. We need to do some things boldly against everything that we've been told to do. I don't know. It's just maybe for our generation, it's just a no brainer.
Kareem, how do you feel about the reaction? I mean, Bitcoiners are fixated on this. You've got 3,500 Bitcoiners in here. You have the eyes of the world on you right now. How does it feel?
I don't know what to say. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, but it's exciting. I don't know how to. I'm sorry because English is not my first language, but I don't know what the word. Goosebumps. I'm just feeling goosebumps right now. It's amazing. It's amazing. Something is happening, and if this works, which I believe it will, it just will change everything in the world because it will prove a theory, which I know. I'm not saying theory in the sense that it's probably not working. I'm saying theory in the sense that it's a scientific theory. It will prove a theory in in the practical sense, which just is, I don't know. Maybe many of you guys were expecting this to happen. S- uh, uh,
No, no,
Sometime
no, nobody was expecting this to happen.
We were
Nobody.
hoping it would someday.
someday.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course, but
someday.
not 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 in
I'm
June
pretty sure
2021.
many of you guys have thought that this was going to happen someday. But yeah, I mean, seeing it happen, it's not the same thinking it or being sure that it will happen than seeing it happening. I'm here. I've been, of course, keeping with my brother with everything that is happening, but being right now in Congress, seeing all the congressmen reading the bill and being pretty sure that they will pass it with a super majority in this pretty. Uh, I don't know. I've lived in this country, so I know it's pretty. It's not a liberal country. And I am talking about a political. I'm talking about it economical. It's not liberal in any sense. It's very conservative. So seeing this happening in El Salvador, I don't know. It's overwhelming, and seeing every one of you just here right now, it's overwhelming.
Kareem, do you mind if I ask you what made you join my Twitter Spaces instead of, like celebrating with uh,
I don't
with
know.
your
I saw a
friends?
retweet. I saw a retweet of this space, and I saw you guys all, here. I started listening, and I am in Congress right now, so I just wanted to let you know, guys, that the bill is being read right now in Congress, and it's going to pass in the next minutes, in the next few minutes, or maybe 15 minutes or so.
That's awesome. Kareem, I have a question for you. Nayib Bukele mentioned also like permanent residency and tax treatment and so on and so forth. Is that going to be in separate bills or this one, or how do you think about that?
Well, the bill is pretty straightforward because we wanted no like questioning, like doubting or some wording that would be considered double. I don't know I don't know how to say it in English, but
I understand. You
maybe,
wanted a clean bill for one thing, and then you're going to do
yeah, a
others
clean
for other
bill
things.
that maybe
Yep.
because if you make a very complex bill, people start to finding some stuff that maybe doesn't go with with what you meant. to be. So
You're out
this is
innovating. You're out innovating the U.S. on many dimensions at the same time. Congratulations.
so this is a very clean bill. Everyone can understand it. There's almost no questions of what is in the bill. Maybe I know that in the U.S. you don't have bills this size. I know that in the U.S. For the U.S. the people that live in the U.S. know that bills are like so. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Very
You can
complicated.
they're
Very
complicated.
complicated.
Just
Yeah.
yeah, live it that way. But yes, of course, if we want to build an ecosystem, there has to be more bills built around this bill, which is like the umbrella bill. Let's call it that way. But yes, the residency is. I don't know. Maybe the president didn't want to contaminate residency requirements with this bill, which is there are two different things. Maybe related, but two different things.
Hey guys, I just wanted to clarify. I always believed that El Salvador was going to be the first Bitcoin nation, and that Nayib was going to push this through. So I'm not surprised at all.
Thank you very much.
Kareem, is there anything you could say about how maybe the president or the government thinks this is going to help kind of connect Salvadorans to the world, and how it can be a bridge, or is there anything that you can
Well,
say about his
actually,
vision?
Bitcoin Beach was actually the example, because it is not. If you see the people who use it, it is not the rich people or the people have run this country for decades. It is the normal everyday Salvadoran. So for our perspective, it will change how people live. And I think, but this is a personal opinion, maybe you agree with it or not. I think it will also be an example for the world, because it will change how you see Bitcoin as a means of changing people's lives for the better, normal everyday people's lives, which is, I don't know, it just gives you chills. I don't know about you.
I'd like to speak to that real quick, because we've seen that in the Bitcoin Beach project. We've seen that in El Zante with the youth that we're working with, that a lot of them, 5 years ago would have been the ones that were joining the gangs. And now they're
I think
looking
one of
forward.
the most exciting things for me is, the way that you're talking about it is in Bitcoin Beach. Like, I kind of had heard about Bitcoin Beach beforehand, but I honestly, when I first heard about it, I thought this is a cool project, but it's like a surfing thing. Maybe they're just hanging out, but it turns out they were like deadly serious. And at the same time, like, I honestly, I don't think I'm not like a well-traveled person in South America, but I had no idea the politics or anything. And I think this is like the most interesting part of Bitcoin here is, like, you don't need to be somebody that other people know to make an impact here. Like, Mike's kind of project, he's like an independent person, started Bitcoin Beach, and it's having an impact on a global level here. And you guys as well. Like, I mean,
No, he is
who
for
could have
sure. He
said?
is. I mean, it started. You can see it in any perspective. I mean, it's we. I live in El Salvador. You don't. Now we are living in a global village, or whatever you can call it. But it's always, well, they're applauding right now. I don't know why they're applauding right now in Congress, but they're just reading the bill. But they're really happy. They seem really happy. But I mean, bit just put it as an example. Maybe Bitcoin Beach was a laboratory inside another laboratory, which is El Salvador. Bitcoin Beach was successful. Now we'll see if El Salvador is successful. I do believe it will be, but it's just like the scalability of Bitcoin is being proven in El Salvador, in this country. So yeah, I mean, interesting times. Interesting times.
Kareem, what are the prospects of getting the president in here after he passes the bill, now that two of his brothers have been in this space?
Hey,
I'm in
one
Congress
other
right now.
question.
He's actually right now in the presidential household. So I don't know. Maybe I can send him a message or
just
something. But
dash over there. Yeah, how close is it?
Shoot your shot,
I don't
Nick.
know. I mean, we're pretty sure it's going to pass, but we always wait until the last second because just it's not the same as knowing as seeing. So I probably won't bother him until it passes. So maybe we can bother him afterwards.
Kareem, do you have any clarification on Article 14 and what is the bank that is referred to in that?
It's a social bank. It's a national bank. It's a public bank.
Got it.
It's made. It's not made for profit. It's made for projects like this. For
So
social
like Bitcoin is going to be kind of like mandated to be held there, or what?
No, it just is just for the beginning because there has to be some kind of I don't know how to say a transition. So we use the U.S. dollar, right? It is the currency that we use here. So until it gets adopted in a wide scale or close to 100%, we have to have a fund that when you accept the Bitcoin, because it has to be accepted, you can accept it and exchange it to dollar, and who is going to pay that dollar, or who is going to where are you going to get that dollar? So that bank will have a fund to subsidize, if you can say that, that transaction.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Kareem, do you know, our other question everybody was talking about earlier, are all businesses going to be required to accept Bitcoin, or will there be exemptions for smaller businesses, or how will that be rolled out?
Every single business will be required. Of course, El Salvador, there has to be a transition on certain places that don't have an internet connection, and so this is a I don't know how you call it in English, una transicional, un artículo de transición. Maybe you can help me with that.
Yeah, just a transition period, it'll be a transition
No,
time.
but that article specifically, it's a transitional article.
Okay.
Because when 100% of Salvadorians can access to technology, then of course it will be mandated. But of course, most Salvadorians have access to a smartphone. So I believe that we're on the right course, and it will be rapidly adopted.
Well, I just want to say that this is amazing. I mean, we are just thrilled. Everybody that's worked so hard at the Bitcoin Beach project. I mean, this is a Salvadoran-led project. I joke that I'm just the Twitter
Kareem,
guy.
I don't know if you know this off the top
Who's
of
the
your head.
Twitter guy?
Conflicting
Who said that? I'm just a Twitter guy.
Oh, yeah, Kareem, I was saying this is Mike Peterson from Bitcoin Beach. I was saying it's so amazing because this is a Salvadoran-led project. Like all these initiatives.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that? Who's the Twitter guy?
No, who's the Twitter guy?
Can you guys hear me?
Michael from Bitcoin Beach. He's the Twitter guy, I guess.
Yeah. Michael, we can hear you. Michael,
we can hear you. Jeet, I think you might be delayed or something.
So I just want to say that this is a Salvadoran-led effort. Like this is the Salvadorans that have pushed all these efforts forward. It was all of their ideas. I'm just the guy that tweets about it on Twitter. So it's to me, it's just so amazing to see Salvadorans are leading the world forward. Like this
Michael,
is
I don't know.
Latin
I'm
America.
just the president's brother. I'm nobody actually. So yeah, this is
Michael,
just El Salvador by itself. It's not a person specifically. I mean, it's just awesome.
Michael, that's an absolute lie, and it's very humble of you to say you're just a guy who tweets, but that's just completely and utterly not true. You created this seed, you created the opportunity, you invited people in, you taught people about Bitcoin. Just to say you're the guy who tweets it, it's very humble, but it's a complete lie.
And from the ground up, actually, from the ground up.
Well, I think though from being there, Peter, that Jorge Valenzuela and the rest of the team there. I mean, really, they're the ones that have done all the hard work. I just gave them the crazy ideas, and then they were the ones that actually made it happen. So that's definitely who
this is your humble side again.
This
is your humble side again, and they'd certainly deserve the credit as well. But without you, I don't think this Twitter space conversation would be happening right now.
What an incredible story. And Michael, as we spoke about, there are so many human rights activists from different countries coming to us now asking how they can replicate what you did in their country. So I'm very excited to work with you on that moving forward.
No, we're thrilled for that. We're ready.
5,000 people in here right now. Insane. We got live audio coming in from the Salvadoran Parliament. Unbelievable.
I love it. Kareem, any idea
I'll
how
tell
they...
you a secret right now. Nobody knows that I'm here.
Are you allowed
Nobody
to
knows
be?
I'm in Parliament right now.
Are you allowed to be on Twitter Spaces right now? Is that? Is this? Are you breaking some
Yeah,
policy?
this is a new world, right? So
You go direct to the people.
yes, but I'm in Parliament right now, and they're just going to approve it. Well, actually, right now the opposition is talking, which happens everywhere, but they're just.
What do
How
they?
much?
Are they? Do they have like
Oh, they're going to
substantive
vote against for
objections?
it. They're going to vote against it. That's not. There's no question about it. But they're just 20. They have 20 votes, I guess, in an 84 seat parliamentary system.
The president is in the house.
The president joined. Oh, the president's here. Yes.
Oh,
Tell-
fantastic.
No way.
Congratulations.
Tell them we said hi. There's 5,000 of us.
No, he's here.
He's here. He's listening. You tell him he said hi.
Solicitar. Maybe he just wants to listen.
Holy crap! He's in this room, like this Spaces.
Can you make him a speaker?
I can.
Yeah,
I
you can make
certainly
him a speaker.
can. Yeah, tell him to apply to speak, bro.
I'll
Join
tell him
us
right now. I'll tell him right now.
This is wild, man. Yeah, apply to speak. I might have to kick someone off stage, though. I hope you understand.
Also, 5,000 is the limit?
No. I might have to kick one of the speakers off, but no, actually, we got 2 open slots, so yeah, he's welcome to join. I also Milena Mayorga, who's the ambassador.
Ambassador to the United States. Yes,
she's in here.
She's here. Yeah, she's here right now.
This is a who's who of Salvadoran politics right now.
Oh, he's going to join, but he's telling me that he's going to retweet it first.
Oh my God.
Can he?
Yeah.
Give him permission?
Oh yeah, let's blow this thing up. We're supplanting the mainstream media.
Well, it's a little bit late, so many people are asleep, I guess.
I was gonna close this room because I need to go to bed, but I'm keeping it open for y'all.
Nick, you can't go to sleep right now.
No way.
Just go to sleep after the bill passes. It's going to pass in a few minutes. So just I don't know. Drink some Salvadoran coffee, maybe.
What?
Nick, you're not going to bed.
I was gonna, but no. Of course, I'm gonna keep this open. Yeah. Tell the president to request to speak. I don't see him on here yet.
One small step for El Salvador, one giant leap for mankind. This is wild, folks.
Who said that? Sorry.
My name's Alex, and I'm just in awe of what's happening here.
Alex is the man.
Yeah, Kareem, I'm a human rights activist, and I'm very excited about what's going to happen as a result of this globally. So,
Kareem, I'm Brooke Mallers. I'm Jack Mallers' mom. I just have to tell you how thankful I am for the way you treated him.
No, he's a great human being.
All right.
He's a good guy.
Good news, y'all. Nayib Bukele is in the room, y'all.
He's a good heart. He has a good heart.
El Presidente is with us. He's connecting.
Oh, he's a speaker now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still connecting. The app's really buggy. I hope it works. Give him a second. What's up?
I'll be with you in just a second.
All right, you got some important business to deal with down there. We'll cut you some slack.
Yeah, right now the opposition is speaking in the floor of Congress.
Kareem, while we're waiting, what are they saying?
Just bullshit. I don't know. Turn up the volume right now. So,
Kareem, you'll fit in perfectly around here.
What?
Are the opposition Ethereum supporters?
How many? What? Sorry.
Oh,
What
don't
was the
listen to
question?
Peter. Don't listen
They're
to Peter. He's saying silly things.
Peter's messing
making
with you.
jokes.
Yeah, this is
What
this.
was the question?
Has the
Hey,
U.S. responded to this at all?
Who?
Anyone in the U.S. Did they contact you today?
What do you mean in the U.S.?
Like the State Department or U.S. government officials? Just curious.
No, I don't think so. About this specifically, not me. Not me. Maybe the president can answer that question because he is in another level. I was just only his campaign manager.
Yes, they have. Also the yes, they have. Also the IMF.
Oh man, I
I'm
knew the
gonna be right
IMF.
there in a second.
Oh, it's all
Thank
good.
you.
Take your time. I knew the
Oh,
IMF were gonna mess with y'all.
yeah, would love to hear what the IMF said.
I just knew it.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I talked to a friend of mine who's a real estate agent in El Salvador, and he said he's already getting all kinds of requests from people that want to come and invest in the country and buy properties in Bitcoin. So it is on. So if you guys are wanting to get into El Salvador, you better make it fast. It's gonna blow up.
Man, I'm in freaking suspense right now.
What time is it over there, or where you are?
East Coast of US, it's about 12:48. So late night.
Oh, the party's only starting.
Oh yeah, I'm cracking open some bourbon for y'all. Celebrate this little moment. Or maybe I should be drinking like some Salvadorian drink. What's like the national liquor?
Oh, you
Kareem,
don't
is
want
it
you don't want to drink that. You'll die in like 2 seconds. It's too hard. It's too much alcohol.
That's an
Kareem?
invitation to Nick.
Kareem, is it too late to add a clause into the bill that Tron is not allowed in the country?
No, the bill is only for Bitcoin. It's only a bit. There are only two legal tenders in the country. It will be the dollar, of course, the US dollar, and Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin.
Few.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can put an office in here in El Salvador. Everyone can open his office. Everyone can open. It's open for business, of course. But the legal tender is only the US dollar right now, and when the bill passes in a few minutes, Bitcoin, and that's it.
And Kareem, maybe talk a little bit about just the intentions that you guys have from like adopting what many people in the Bitcoin community would call the Bitcoin standard, and just kind of elaborate on just not legal tender, but what else you guys are planning to do.
Well, that's for you guys to decide. Actually, it's not. I mean, this is not. El Salvador has opened the doors for it, but it's not going to control it because we can't. That's the bottom line. So we just believe in what's in this. We just believe in decentralized economy. This decentralized, yes, and we saw it in Bitcoin Beach. We saw it in helping people's lives, helping people's lives, and this just I don't know. We see it as the future. We believe in this project, and that's it. We know we can control it, but we just this is not for seeking control or anything. It's just for I don't know. We're just happy that we believe strongly that this will help people a lot, normal everyday people.
And anything to say about the collaboration with Blockstream with creating more satellite access to Bitcoin? That's very exciting. Any details there?
Sorry?
About any details about working with Blockstream to expand satellite access
Oh,
to
I
Bitcoin?
don't know. I'm not versed in that matter. But I just don't. I just see so many because maybe you're thinking a limit, but then some new door opens, and then a new door opens, and then a new idea opens, which is like I don't know what the times that we are leaving right now. Just amazing. Of the I don't know what the limit is really. It sounds like cliche that saying this, but I mean, when was it possible you thought about El Salvador? Maybe some of you guys didn't know what El Salvador was or where we were at and the globe. And now we're talking about satellites for giving internet access to everyone in El Salvador.
Kareem, I'm getting a ton of questions. I might just start reading off a couple, and anyone else up here, feel free to kind of jump in as you see fit. But people in the audience are asking the intention of putting Bitcoin in the reserves of the country. Anything you can elaborate on there?
Maybe you can wait for the president. Maybe he actually has more more information than that. I was just here listening, and then I just wanted to tell you guys that the bill is going to pass. But now the opposition is just speaking and speaking and speaking a lot of stuff. But there's no, like in the U.S., that you have that filibuster thing.
They're filibustering.
Oh man, how
No,
dare
no,
they?
no, no. They can't. They only have like a allocated time system here in El Salvador, so don't worry about it. I mean, it will take more minutes. It will take more time, but just I don't think. I mean, they can filibuster like in the United States. And actually, even if they could, the president's party has a supermajority.
I'm in the house, just to let you know.
The president is just
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
thank you for joining us, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for opening the space,
Yeah, we
Nick.
got like 10,000 people in here. A lot of Bitcoiners,
Yeah.
tons and tons of Bitcoiners listening to you right now. Pass this bill.
I just followed you
Thanks
here
for the
right now.
follow. I just followed you back. We're friends now.
Thank you. So this bill is passing right now. It's in the assembly, as you all know. Uh, of course, it's in debate, and they're saying a lot of things about it. But we have probably 64 out of 84 seats. So, and I think everybody will vote for it. But even if they don't, we all need 43 votes. So it's almost 100% chance that we're gonna see this bill passed in, I don't know, probably in half an hour or something like that.
Is it cool
And then
for
do
you
you have
to?
to sign it?
I was just gonna ask, like, is it chill for you to be on your phone while this is going down, or like, do you have something important to do in there?
Yeah, no, I took the time to do this since I saw Karim was speaking, and then I saw all these people getting into that conversation. I thought, well, why not? I think I can take 10 minutes, right?
he has to wait to sign it. Actually, after voting, so he has to be
Yes, I
awake.
have to sign the bill, so I probably not gonna sleep that early, like every other day.
So you'll sign it tonight.
I'll sign it tonight or early tomorrow if the debate takes a while. But yeah, I'll sign it when they have to close the session after the vote, and they have to send it to my desk. And I have 8 days to sign it, but I sign it right away, so it gets published tomorrow, and it goes into effect uh, immediately, since it's a public order law. So it goes into effect immediately. So it becomes law on Wednesday.
President, walk us through once you sign this bill and it becomes law. What's the plan? Is it you go and you put Bitcoin in the reserves? Do you begin to implement other types of infrastructure or technology? Kind of what are you thinking right now in terms of what you'll do once it becomes law?
Okay, there's gonna be a lot of news, a lot of new information here. Um, we have been working with. I think Jack's mom is here, right?
She is. Yeah, she's here, right here on stage, Brooke Mallers.
Yeah. So we have been working with Jack, and we're gonna do a government wallet, which is not gonna be the only wallet. It's not gonna be exclusive, since Bitcoin is not. I mean, it's free, and it has to be like that. That's the way it works. So we're gonna keep it like that. We're not gonna try to control it or anything, since it would be, it will be a counter purpose. But we're gonna do a wallet for our merchants, so anybody can opt to use the government wallet, and that's for people that doesn't want to take the risk of normal everyday transactions, because uh, accepting Bitcoin is gonna be a mandate. So it's not like if you go to a McDonald's. I mean, probably most of you don't like McDonald's, but well, if you go to a McDonald's or whatever, um, they cannot say we're not going to take your Bitcoin. They have to take it by law because it's a legal tender, just like any other currency in any other part of the world. So if you, for example, if you go to Mexico, they have to take your pesos. It's not like they will say, I'm not going to take your pesos. You have to pay me with dollars. They have to take the pesos because that's the legal tender in Mexico. So in the case of El Salvador, Bitcoin is going to be legal tender just as the U.S. dollar. It's only not gonna apply for accounting. That's um, the only part where the U.S. dollar is gonna remain as the exclusive. It's on accounting. So the balance sheet, the company's balance sheets will be in U.S. dollars. But that's it. Everything, even taxes, can be paid with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin it's a legal tender, but as legal tender it's a mandate to accept it in every transaction, and you can pay bank loans. Even the law says the law is very short and very simple, but it's very clear. And even if you have a previous contract, if you look, for example, if you gave a loan to somebody and you loan $100,000 10 years ago, and he still owes you that money, he can pay you with Bitcoin because as the law turns into effect and Bitcoin becomes legal tender 90 days after the law. Why 90 days? Because we have to prepare infrastructure and all of the other things. But once the law is in effect, the timing is just for getting everybody prepared and with the technology and the apps, etc. But if you owe somebody $100,000, you can pay him in Bitcoin. So it's going to be a full mandate, and everybody, every restaurant, every barber shop, every hotel, every bank, every personal transaction, every if you want to sell a car, everything can be paid in US dollars or in Bitcoin, and nobody can refuse the payment. Like other, for example, foreign currencies, you can accept it, but you're not obligated to accept it. You can do a transaction in euros, but you're not obligated to do that transaction in euros because it's not a legal tender here. It's just a foreign currency. In the case of Bitcoin, it's going to be legal tender and it's going to be treated like a national currency, so everybody has to accept it.
President Bukele, you'd also mentioned a permanent residency for entrepreneurs, and there's going to be quite an ecosystem that may build up around this because you're going to need, obviously the wallet, government wallet. You're going to need exchanges, exchange support for people to be able to auto convert. There'll be investors and entrepreneurs coming. How are you thinking about incorporation or immigration law? Caitlin Long, who's actually here, did a pioneering bill for Wyoming that might be interesting to you. That actually Miami also copied. That might be helpful for you as you go forward. But I'd love to hear how you're thinking about immigration and incorporation law.
Yes, we're going to have some immigration reform. We actually have some laws to pass later that it will empower the use of the growth of this and the potential of this. Like Karim said, the limits of this are, we don't know what are the limits of this. We will find out with time, but we're ready to pass new legislation to help with things. For example, this law speaks about a trust fund that the government is going to put up in place, so it would assume the risk of the merchants. So let's say I know I'm not answering the question directly. I'm going to answer in a minute. But what I'm trying to say is that, for example, if there's a ice cream parlor and the owner of the ice cream parlor, he doesn't really want to take the risk. I mean, he has to accept Bitcoin because it's a mandate. It's a currency, but he doesn't want to take the risk of the convertibility. He might win money, he might lose. So he wants dollars deposited in his banking account. So when he sells the ice cream, he can ask the government to exchange his Bitcoin to dollars. Of course, he can do that in the markets also, but the government would have a fund to do it immediately. So it's not that volatile because the government is going to take the risk of the minutes or half an hour that's going to take for him to do his transaction. So we're going to put up a trust fund to do that, and we're willing to risk some money that we might earn some and we might lose some, but that's going to be done to help people with the risk, and that's a separate law that's going to go to be approved in the assembly later. But it's just new laws that are going to promote and they're going to facilitate the usage of Bitcoin in El Salvador and exploit its potential. So, for example, with immigration, we have we're designing this new law that gives permanent residency to anybody that invests 3 Bitcoins in El Salvador. So if you buy a house or a car or 2 cars or whatever, but you have to invest, or you put some offices and you buy some computers or some office furniture, or you have to invest 3 Bitcoins. So once you give proof of investing the 3 Bitcoins, you would get, or that you will invest the 3 Bitcoins, you will get permanent residency. So it's going to be expressed in Bitcoins and not in US dollars, because we want to make the people used to like some people like to say 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. So we want people to get familiarized to using Bitcoins as a unit alone, and not all the time being um, thought of the convertibility to the US dollar, because that's not good for Bitcoin as a currency. It's like when Europeans go to a place and buy a car with euros, they don't convert the euros to dollars to buy the car. They just buy the car to the amount of what's expressed in the price of the car in the car dealership. So we want to do that, and we want to promote people coming here, innovators, investors, entrepreneurs, just Bitcoiners. They want to buy a vacation house or go and live by the beach or whatever, and we want to promote all this, and so we're gonna pass some legislation for immigration reform, and we're gonna pass some legislation for the trust fund, and some other legislation for access to the internet. We're gonna build a better infrastructure so people have more access. It's one of the articles of this new law says that the government has to provide and facilitate and promote the connectivity of the people and the technology, which is of course an app and a phone and an internet connection. So there's going to be new legislation coming soon that is not mm, it's not a necessity of this law, but it would definitely promote and widen the opportunities and the potential of this thing that it's happening here, and that it's probably going to be replicated in other countries as well.
That's really interesting. I use Eunice. There's like jus sanguinis, which is citizenship by blood, and then jus solis, which is by law, and then jus ionis, which is by investment. And so 3BTC investment basically gets you citizenship. That's really interesting. Other countries have done things like that, but not denominated, obviously, in cryptocurrency. I think related to that, maybe I'm not sure if this is on your radar yet, but anything you can do on incorporation of the companies in terms of infrastructure, because that might be a third piece. As I mentioned, Caitlin is here, and she's done a lot of pioneering work on this. Might be an interesting person to speak to. Francis Suarez has adopted some of that, because you could become a sanctuary country for crypto. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, Bitcoin entrepreneurs, everybody would come there, and because the banking system would be friendly, everything would be friendly, so just something to think about. That's the third piece potentially, is your incorporation law.
President, earlier somebody asked if the United States or the IMF had reached out, and you said yes. Could you tell us a little bit more about what those conversations were like?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No. Actually, I have a meeting with the IMF on Thursday, and we're gonna speak about several issues. One of them being this law. Um, I already. I mean, in the messaging that we set up the meeting, I already tried to explain them that this doesn't. I mean, it's a huge change for the country, and it's a huge opportunity, and it's a big message for the world. But it's not going to change our macroeconomics. I mean, it's it's an opportunity for our merchants, for our businesses, for the people. It's an opportunity for the people that receives remittances. It's an opportunity for the people in the tourism sector. This is gonna provide. It's gonna promote economic development, the creation of jobs. It probably is gonna lower, or as Jack said, it's gonna take to zero the commission that a lot of people is paying. Some people are paying 30% commission in the remittances, so they get $100 and they only get paid 70. So this is an opportunity for the growth of the economy of the country and of the people. So this shouldn't be of concern, but it should be supported, I think. And I try not to be pessimistic about what the financial international financial sector would think of it. I try to be positive because this is going to be good for the country, good for the people, good for investors, good for innovators, and it's going to solve a lot of problems in the U.S. too. Because the U.S. has a big problem at the border because a lot of people emigrate from Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. So if we create more opportunities here, that will lower the pressure in the border. So I mean, they should be happy about this. So I think it's more we have to do a lot of explaining, and um, we have to campaign this. But I'm sure it's going to be good for everybody, and we count on you. I mean, we're um, almost 16,000 people are connected to this chat room right now. So, and there's a lot of influential people here. So, I think it's going to be there's going to be a lot of support for what we're doing here. Of course, there's going to be people that oppose it. It's normal. We live in a free society, so people can oppose something and they're free to oppose it. But there's going to be a lot of support, not only political support, but also influencers and people in the. For example, this was I don't know if he's here. There was a very nice article in Forbes, um, and it spoke very well about the project and about what we're doing here in El Salvador. And I mean, we didn't get that kind of press before, so I think there's a lot of support that is gonna be built in this network that is new, and that it's gonna allure a lot of innovators and a lot of talent that is coming. Because I mean, this is we're not only talking about money. We're talking about technology. We're talking about talent. We're talking about fresh new ideas, and all of this is coming here. It has been already here, and it's coming more and more by the day. So this new technologies, new ways of promoting access to financing, access to technology for the people. This has to be good for the United States, and it has to be good for the worldwide financial sector. It's probably not good for some people that have some different interests, but for the good of humanity, and for the good of in this moment our country, that's gonna be it. I mean, everybody has to support it, or they should at least. So I think we're going to do a lot of campaigning and a lot of explaining, but I think at the end is gonna get a very good result.
President
Mr.
Bukele, I mean, do you consider this to be the beginning of de-dollarization? Is this sort of what you have in mind long term?
No, we we in 2001 when the country was dollarized, the argument was that our currency was too volatile and that we have to um, attract investors and we have to be to use the U.S. dollar as a currency because that would attract investors, and we probably did at
Just to let you
some
know, he was a
extent.
minor when that happened.
I know, I was a minor too. So, um, so now with um, with this, we're doing that on the steroids because now we have social media that we didn't have in 2001. So now we could be speaking at this room, which was totally improvised, and uh, and now everybody is listening to this, and it's different. So I think that the objectives of having the U.S. dollar as a legal tender are probably replicated on steroids as having Bitcoin as a legal tender. So we're not trying to de-dollarize because it won't serve any purpose for us. But we're trying to do um, to allure entrepreneurs and talent and innovators to our country, and that's going to be good. And I don't think having the dollar as legal tender does any harm to it. On the contrary, I think it's going to help having both currencies as legal tenders in El Salvador.
Mr. President, this is
President,
Mike Peterson from Bitcoin Beach, and I just want to thank you
Hey,
so much for everything you've done. I knew deep down you were a Bitcoiner. I knew you were going to come through here, and everybody on our team,
well, you're the pioneers, actually,
everybody on our
and you demonstrated. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to say something good about you guys. You guys demonstrated that this is not something for rich people only. I mean, this is for everybody, and and you guys demonstrated that a community can actually benefit from Bitcoin. And now we're going to demonstrate it in a country in a country wide scale. But of course, you're the pioneers here, and hats off to you guys because you have demonstrated you had the courage to be the first here in El Salvador, which is um, and you have done great. And actually, you have provided with us with arguments and with pictures and with stories and with everything that we need to have this bill passed so
Well,
fast.
I hope so much that you'll grace us with your presence with the team. There's an amazing team of locals in El Zonte that are really the ones who have done all the work, and so I know it means so much to them if you'd come and spend a little time with them. So I really hope you'll be able to come and spend some time in Bitcoin Beach with us.
I will. I will. I will.
President, you've got a lot of people in here from the
I
Bitcoin
love to go
community.
to Bitcoin
Could
Beach.
you tell us a little bit about your story with Bitcoin, whether you hold Bitcoin today, and kind of how you became so interested in it?
Oh,
Did we finally
Did we
break?
lose him?
We might have broken Twitter Spaces.
No, he's still
Nope.
there. I would like to ask a question
President?
too. Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
excellent.
I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. So
okay, boomer.
th- yeah, I'm not a boomer. So we're, we're, I mean, like you have said in a I think I don't know if it was the same chat or but I read about it that we're big believers in the future. And I remember when I was a kid that I'm probably a little older than some of you guys and a little younger than others. And when I was a kid, I remember thinking about the future, and you would see like flying cars and these beautiful buildings with people having no problems, and everything was solved because of technology and everything, and the world was interconnected like it is right now. But everything was fine. There were no wars, and there was no hunger, no nothing, no diseases. But now, if you talk to young people, and I'm talking about 15-year-olds or even 20-year-olds, and you ask them about the future, they won't talk to you about flying cars or shiny buildings and no hunger. They will talk to you about nuclear war. They will talk about pests, about climate catastrophes, about, I mean, when did our vision of the future change from something beautiful to something so dystopic? And but at the same time, we have to remember that we build our own future. It's not the future is not imposed on us. I mean, we build it. We human beings, we build our future. So why do we have to resignate ourselves to have a dystopic future if we can build the future that we dreamt when, well, at least when I was a kid, and probably some of you were too. And so I think Bitcoin as being the main cryptocurrency in the world solves a lot of problems. No oversupply. It doesn't. It's not in the hands. There's a lot of inequality that comes from the central banking system, because they pour new money in, but they choose where that new money goes to. But everybody pays the price of having their money being less of the quantity of the total amount of money. So Bitcoin, it's technology, it's the future. It solves a lot of things. It's very well thought of, and it's being supported by a lot of people that want to see a better world and a better future, and a lot of innovators and a lot of talent. So we want to support that too. And we're not we don't. I mean, I could support it by being a Bitcoiner and put laser eyes in the picture. But we want not only to support it, but we want also to demonstrate that that the world can benefit from it. And I think El Salvador is not only a country anymore. It's a symbol of what Bitcoin can do. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pouring in of new technology in a country that basically, we had very good plans 6 months ago, but isn't not even near what the plans that we have now. So if we can change our future, and it probably we will start seeing other countries follow. So we're going to see a lot of futures, a lot of countries' future changing, and that's going to help build a better society. So I think, I mean, of course, it's not like Bitcoin is going to solve everything, but I think this is one of the things that we all have to get behind on, because we have to build the future for humanity, and we don't have to um, accept the new probably the not so good future that the world is going on, and we can change it. So for me, Bitcoin is a very important part of it, and I'm sure this is going to be a great example. So it's it's not that I'm a Bitcoin holder. It's that I do think that this is going to be a huge game changer, not for El Salvador but for the world. And probably right now a lot of people might laugh or say, oh, that's a very small country, and it's the smallest country in the whole continent. But well, it doesn't matter. It's happening, and it's going to change a lot of things, and it's going to start here, and that's it's beautiful to be part of a huge change in humanity. So I don't want to be corny, but that's the reality. We're dreaming here about what's going to happen, and we're happy
Mr.
about it.
Yeah,
President,
don't be
will
too corny, because Jack Dorsey is listening, so he can block you from Twitter. So be careful.
Jack,
Mr.
Jack, you
President?
gotta get up here, man. Join us on stage. I sent you an invite.
Mr. President,
Mr. President?
will people have the freedom to use whatever wallet they want, or will they have to use the government wallet? A lot of people are asking me that.
No, 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 no. It's any wallet. You can use any wallet that you want. There's not gonna be any. The law. It's up there. It's short. Like I said, I added sweet, but it's short and simple. So it's very simple. It's there. There's gonna be a government option. I mean, as a wallet that is gonna be developed by Strike, but that's gonna be an option. You can use any wallet, and you can use any system, and you can. I mean, we're not gonna um, it's going to be as free as
Yeah,
it gets.
not limit every single human being to a wallet, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is that um, all the new technologies that are gonna develop. I mean, they're gonna even Jack spoke about what the work that he's gonna do here. It's gonna be available for all of the other countries. So it's not only that it's fully free, but what we do with Jack is gonna be um, it's gonna be free also. So everybody can. I mean, it's not. There's not gonna be any restriction on the use of Bitcoin, other than it's for legal things, right? Because a lot of people is talking about, oh, with Bitcoin they're gonna do money laundering and they're gonna buy weapons or whatever, and I'm saying like, well, weapons are bought in U.S. dollars right now. I mean, it's not like I mean money laundering is done in U.S. dollars. The drug cartels they use U.S. dollars, and the problem is not the dollar, is the criminals. So it's like saying Bitcoin it facilitates uh, transactions for doing bad things. It's I mean, what about cash, or what about jewelry or diamonds or any other sort of payment? What about euros or yens or whatever? I mean, it's not this is gonna be as free as it gets, but that's not gonna mean we're inviting criminals. It just means that it's gonna be free. But being free is not a synonym of the bad thing. I don't know who changed that that definition, because it's supposed to be something good. So it's gonna be as free as it gets, and so you can use any wallet. There's gonna be a governmental wallet, but that we're gonna develop with Strike. But there's gonna be one other option, like all of the other options that are out there. And it's going to be probably the smallest option, because only Salvadorans are probably going to be interested in downloading that one. But it's gonna it, we're, it's not a for us. It's not the main thing is not the wallet. The main thing is the usage of Bitcoin in the country as a legal tender. That's the big thing. The other thing is part of the infrastructure and technology that we're trying to develop to help a lot of people that otherwise they wouldn't be able to access the technology or the apps or the things, because they can use it. So we will help them with the technology, with connectivity, like they did in Bitcoin Beach. So we'll try to replicate that in a wider scale with people that sell in the streets and people that sell in the market. So you can be selling fish in the market, and you're probably not even in any financial sector right now. So you probably need some government help, and some people that come and give you a phone and an app and a connectivity plan for free to help you join and benefit from this. But of course, if you have your own phone and you have your own apps, I mean, you don't have to download the government one. It's just this is like trying to get financial inclusion will require some government investment. So we'll try to do that investment. But that's not a requirement for everybody. It's just something the government will do proactively to go and benefit the people that are probably not going to benefit automatically because they don't have a smartphone or they don't have a stable internet connection.
Mr. President,
Virginia,
will you also be strengthening the property laws of El Salvador to recognize Bitcoin and to recognize outright property rights in Bitcoin? And then also, as a follow-up, you mentioned in the law instantaneous conversion to the US dollar. That implies that you have a clearing account with the Federal Reserve. I'm curious how the instantaneous conversion to dollars will be taking place. Thank you.
Okay, so that's going to be it's actually quite simpler than that. It's not that we're going to exchange with the Federal Reserve. I mean, our central bank is a very robust central bank. I mean, for the country, of course, that has business with the Federal Reserve by the day. We actually import our dollars newly. I mean, our paper dollars newly printed, newly minted. They come here. I mean, they are printed for us. So we actually have a very good relationship with the Fed. But this is way simpler than that. The convertibility is not with the Fed or with the central bank. It's with the trust fund that we're gonna do in one of we have a the government here also owns some banks. We have the central bank, of course, but we also have first floor banks, and we have a development bank that's owned by the government. So in our development bank, we're gonna establish a trust fund. So we buy the Bitcoin um, of the transactions that are done by people that doesn't want to take the risk. For example, if you have a lady that sells fruit in the marketplace, and she doesn't want to, she doesn't understands that much, and she doesn't want to risk her savings, or she doesn't want to take the risk implied in using Bitcoin. So, but she's mandated, if she has the technology, of course, that will provide. If she doesn't have it, she's mandated to accept Bitcoin to sell her fruit. So what we're going to do is that if she's using the wallet, she can opt out and say, okay, I'm taking this Bitcoin, but I want this money deposited in US dollars. So we are going to buy her Bitcoin, and we at the price that she valued her fruit. So not at the price of the market. So if she sells $5 in fruit, and the Bitcoin price that she sold it at was X amount, but that amount changes when she deposits the money in her bank, then we are gonna absorb that risk by buying her Bitcoin at her fixed price of the fruit. So that trust fund is gonna guarantee that the people that don't want to take the risk, they don't have to take the risk. They have to take the Bitcoin, but not the risk. So they will translate that risk to the government, not to the trust fund of the bank of the government. Now, this this risk might turn into a profit for the government, or it might turn into a loss for the government. So the trust fund is going to be supported by some losses and some gains. And at the end, we might lose some money out of the trust fund, or we might earn some money out of the trust fund. But it doesn't matter, because the the purpose of the trust fund is not to make money, is to support this decision of having Bitcoin as a legal tender, and that it runs for years and years with no problems, because we have this trust fund that allows us to absorb the risk of the small merchants that don't want to take the risk. So it's actually very simple, and it doesn't involve the Federal Reserve, or even our central bank. It's just a trust fund in our
Have you
development
heard
bank.
the term market maker, Mr. President? Because if not, or maybe you have, but some of those guys might be able to help with this, because it sounds very similar to people who do market making, or basically are both on the buy and the sell side to provide liquidity.
Yeah, I'm not that well versed in that.
Mr. President, are you planning on doing mining? Is the government going to mine Bitcoin or encourage the mining of Bitcoin in El Salvador?
Never thought of it, but like Karim said, this I mean, every day is going to be new ideas. So we're not thinking of mining, but if we can do something to promote mining, of course. And we have some right now thinking of it. I mean, I haven't thought of it, but right now thinking of it, um, we have a plan. This is not has nothing to do. Well, it had nothing to do with Bitcoin, but we had a plan because we have geothermal energy here, energy that you get from volcanoes. So we actually have plants that get clean 100. It's not only 100% renewable, but it's also 100% clean, because the energy of the volcanoes turn the water into water vapor, and that makes energy. So we produce that energy since 50 years ago. But right now we were looking at that we lose a lot of energy by transporting the energy of the geothermal plants to the cities. So we want to promote this on the outskirts of the plants. we want to promote this industrial parks where you can set up your factory and you will receive cheap, clean, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero CO2, 0% CO2 emissions, and we wanted to do that not because of Bitcoin, but because of people that want to invest in factories that won't have any carbon footprint. But now that you're talking about mining, probably somebody wants to set up a mining facility with zero emissions and with geothermal energy that it's not only cheap because it's right there in the front of them, so they don't pay. We don't have to transport the energy to another place. It's right there, and it's very, very cheap for us. So probably somebody wants to set up a mining facility with cheap, um, clean, renewable energy. But that's just a thought. I just thought about it right now. I haven't thought about mining or other things. But like Karim said, it's every day that passes, new ideas will come up, and this is the limits of
No,
this.
it's remarkable. And look, any stranded, energy resource you have, whether it be hydro, volcanic, geothermal, I mean, these are things to think about. So thank you.
President, one of the strengths of the Bitcoin kind of ecosystem is the community and how you can crowdsource ideas like this or ask for help. Are there specific things that people in the community can do right now to help you or the country of El Salvador as you kind of move to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender or look to kind of upgrade the financial infrastructure of the country?
Well, I don't know. Probably there's a lot more things to do. I think that we should. This is just a thought, but I think we should support this move because a lot of people are probably going to attack it just because they oppose it or because they don't like it or because they promote other ideas, which are fine. But I think we should support this as I mean, anybody can support it by their own means. They can give their opinion. They can write an article. Whatever. So I think everybody we should support this. So this takes a strong hold, and it's not like just an idea or just a bill that was passed by Congress in a country, but it's a thing that it's strong and it's proving that it carries benefits for the common folk. And if that happens, you would see dozens of countries doing the same thing. And then it would evolve in something even more because then you're not talking about one legal tender or two legal tenders or three legal tenders, but you're talking about a currency that is being widely used by a lot of countries. So that will have financial implications. I'm not an economist, but I would guess there are a lot of economists here, and they can explain better the financial implications of what would that mean. But I think I'm at least I'm gonna try and focus on having this project succeed, so we can have a strong um, system working here, and that would be probably it would create a domino effect, and that would probably turn into what you're saying. But I think we should have this um, more strongly functioning, so then you can take other steps.
Mr. President, many of us Bitcoiners in this room, including the Americans, are worried about the prospects for high inflation over the next decade or so. Does this motivate your decision at all, the prospects for inflation in the U.S.?
Has been doing here, and all of the people.
I think we might have lost you at the end
Did
there.
we lose him
Did we
or
lose
did I
him?
lose you all?
What's the
So
status of the bill, by the way? I guess debate is still ongoing.
yeah, the opposition is still debating. It's like a filibuster, but without the ability to filibuster for days or for hours.
What's the
Yeah.
opposition? Is it the bankers, Kareem?
Who?
Is it the bankers that are opposing it?
Well, maybe they are. No, I don't know. I'm not saying the bankers. I'm just the political opposition in Congress. Maybe some people that are financing them are opposed to, but yeah, I cannot pinpoint anyone specifically. But the political opposition in Congress.
He's in a listener mode right now. I don't know if we can put him back in as speaker.
Who? Oh,
yeah,
the
we've
president.
lost the
Yeah,
president.
maybe he received a phone call or something because they're discussing something. Maybe I don't know.
He's got work to do. Can't expect him to be on Twitter all day.
But he's here. Can you pull him up, Nick?
I'm looking. I'm assessing.
Come on, Nick. There's 20,000 people waiting. Let's go.
22,000.
Twitter Spaces is a little challenging, friends.
Nick, certainly getting a good test tonight.
Speak amongst yourselves.
Nick,
what's just getting exciting there?
Well, he was praising you again, so it's wonderful to hear the truth about who really accomplished this. So no one can take it away from you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Like I said, it was an amazing team there in El Salvador. I mean, really, honestly, I'm not being humble. Like, they're the ones that did the work, and I hope all of you are able to make it down to El Zonte and meet Jorge Valenzuela and the rest of the crew there who have, like, tirelessly pushed this through when people were, like, laughing, like, what do you mean, some magic internet money and you want us to accept it? And they like, made this happen.
Oh, and Michael, we're going to have the World Surfing Games in 2023, so maybe they're all invited.
Perfect. Awesome.
Hey, Michael, it's Brooke, Jack's mom. I wish I could give you a big hug over this thing. You started it all, and I love you, and I'm so glad you started tweeting at me about what you were doing there and how that whole thing spread. And we're already looking at maybe like buying property down there. We'll see.
Awesome. That'd be so great to have you guys as neighbors. And I love you too. You would always retweet my tweets. And even when I only had 100 Twitter followers, you would get them out there, and you've been so supportive. And then having your son come down and bring the technology and all this great, fill in all the gaps and then like blow this out of the water with this latest thing. I mean, it's just been awesome.
It's amazing how it developed. I can't even believe it. I was like, no one would ever think it would go this far. Unreal. So congratulations.
Is the president here now? Because he's telling me that he requested to be speaker.
My bad, y'all. Can't leave the president hanging. I don't see him. I don't see his request though. Oh no, with Twitter Spaces is letting us down.
Yeah, it's Elizabeth Stark said that she wanted to get in here and Twitter Spaces wasn't working for her.
Man, you got to come through, Jack. You got to come through, bro.
I think we lost him. He doesn't appear here.
See this his own app is betraying it. I'm not even seeing the president in the list of folks in the room anymore.
Maybe he left to come back and maybe to like restart or something.
Oh,
I see. He just popped in again.
We're live. El Presidente is back. Welcome back, sir.
El Presidente.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can. Can I ask you? Can we?
I was just using the phrase of, I think it's an old ad. You're too young to remember that.
Which one?
What phrase?
Can you hear me?
Oh
now?
yes. This is news for all of you. The president is getting old. He's turning 40.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a joke, but nobody laughed.
He's turning 40 in 2 months. So yeah, he's not as
60,
as young as he used to be.
21,000 people and nobody laughed at my joke. Yeah, that's.
So,
I should be. I'm
sorry,
getting old,
sir.
I think.
What's the status of the bill? How we looking?
Well,
Well,
right
it's
now the opposition is talking again, but the last guy that was talking just finished. Now the another guy is talking, so we have to wait for him for 5 minutes or so, I guess, and then it continues and continues and continues until they vote. And the vote takes around maybe 2 to 3 to 5 minutes, and that will be it.
So, Mr. President, you've probably seen that all these other policymakers from your neck of the woods, from Latin America, have also embarked on their own little campaigns to sort of embrace Bitcoin. I mean, a lot of this seems like you're doing. I mean, how does this make you feel?
I don't know yet. It's like we're trying to live the moment and try to do the best that we can so this succeeds. And I know this we're doing the right thing. I mean, it's not. I mean, there's so much talented, smart people behind us and doing this and supporting this and fighting for this. And I'm sure it's gonna be great for everybody. It's I mean, it's the definition of when you do things and when you do things the right way, it has to provide a good result at the end. I think it's impossible that we will not have something good come out of this because there's so much talent, so much effort, so much people that are working with it, behind it, supporting it, pushing it. I just don't see how this is gonna turn the wrong way. So I'm just trying to live by the day and trying to see where this takes us. But I'm sure it's gonna be something good for everybody.
You know, you have some of the most important Bitcoiners in the world on this stage right now. Not to sound too self-congratulatory. Is this what you
Yeah, Nick,
expected?
you're now the boss of everybody.
Thank you. That's a presidential decree. I'm putting that in my Twitter bio. But so, like, how does it feel to get this warm reaction from the Bitcoin community? Is that what you expected?
Well, like I told you, we're just living by the day. I mean, I was not supposed to join the chat room. I just, everybody was tweeting about it. And I said like, well, I should listen to this. And then everybody's saying like, hey, the president is listening. He should speak. And then I took a while to speak in here. And then suddenly it became from 6,000 when I joined to 20,000 or I don't know, 20, almost 22,000. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, this is just happening. But I mean, there's a lot of things I know, but there's a lot of things I don't know. And one of the things I don't know is the limits of what this is going to become. I know that it's going to be good. I know that it's going to be great. I know that it's going to be very, very important for a lot of people, but I don't really know the limits of this. It's just things are just happening, and we're learning by the minute, and we're seeing things happen by the minute. And right now, the assembly is discussing the bill. The bill is going to pass. I mean, it's almost 100% chance that it's going to pass. So, and while this is happening in the assembly, we're just talking here, and a lot of people got interested in our talk, and this is just happening by the minute. I really don't know what that means or what's the limit, what are the limits of this, but I
Yeah,
know that.
probably nobody know. Everyone has a theory, but nobody in this room knows what's going to happen.
Are you colleagues in the chamber? Are they wondering like what you're up to right now? They're like, what's he doing on his phone? Are are they tuning in as well?
I don't see any deputies
There's
in
some
the room.
mayors, or some
The mayor of the capital is here.
the mayor of San Salvador is here right now
In
Is
this room?
Yeah,
in this
he's
room.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing his picture here, and also our ambassador to the United States is here.
I
But I don't see
invited her.
much government officials. Let me see. Uh, well, also our representative to the Central American Bank, which is a very important bank for us, is here. I'm seeing his picture, Luis Rodriguez.
He's actually a supporter of this bill, so that's good.
And he's a banker, and he's a representative of the Central American Bank, so that's important.
Mr. President, as you kind of rattle off a bunch of the politicians that are here, and Kareem, maybe you can chime in on this as well. How much effort did you guys go through before the video over the weekend at the Bitcoin conference in terms of building consensus among other politicians and people in the Congress and maybe various jurisdictions within the country versus this was something that you guys felt was the right decision and you kind of unilaterally proposed this, understanding that you had kind of the votes in Congress?
Well, the good thing about El Salvador is that in politics, the opinion of the people is pretty homogeneous. People are supporting. I mean, right now the president has 90% approval rating, and the latest Gallup poll, which is an international poll. It's not like in North Korea where the president there has like 125% approval rating, right, or something. So that's pretty good. I mean, people really want change here, and they have been defrauded so many times that people are starting to see new stuff as the way to go forward. So it was not hard to get people on board, at least the majority. And we're not talking about a small majority or just the majority. It is a big majority who support this.
Got it. And then I apologize for asking again, but people will not stop incessantly DMing me this question. They continue to ask Mr. President what the plan is in terms of holding Bitcoin on the balance sheet. It would make you one of the first countries, if not the first country, to do it. But any plans there that you could speak to?
We're going to hold probably $150 million in the trust fund, but it's not going to be a reserve. It's going to be a trust fund, and it's not going to be in the central bank, but in our development bank. But I think that's a huge step, and things are going to evolve, probably not only in El Salvador but in the world. So our plans right now is to hold at least $150 million in our trust fund, and I know that's not a huge sum, but for us it's quite considerable, and it's going to be in our development bank. So for the plans as of right now, it's that. But probably in the future, I don't know. This is evolving very fast, so we're not ruling out having Bitcoin in our reserves in the near future. But we're not. This law doesn't include buying, holding Bitcoin in their reserves.
And it's $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin, or $150 million?
Dollars.
So it's not holding It's not holding Bitcoin in the development bank's trust fund, or it is holding Bitcoin.
No,
it's not.
We're gonna,
okay.
No, it's dollars. We're gonna buy the $150 million out of the transactions of common folks. So we're gonna fill the trust fund coffers with Bitcoin, but we're gonna buy them with dollars. So at the end, we're gonna hold at least $150 million equivalent of Bitcoin, but that hasn't been bought yet because it's gonna be bought in the small transactions of 0.00001 Bitcoins. So at the end, we're gonna hold an equivalent. We're gonna hold $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin, but right now we're not holding any Bitcoin. So the trust fund is gonna buy the transactions, and it's gonna be filled with Bitcoin. But that Bitcoin is gonna come from common folks that are opting out of the deposits in Bitcoin, and it's interchanging those Bitcoins in US dollars. So we're gonna provide those US dollars, and we're gonna get the Bitcoin in exchange. So at the end, not at the end, but in a couple of months, the development bank will hold approximately $150 million equivalent in Bitcoin.
And then will you fund it with more dollars at that point, or have you thought about once you get $150 million worth of Bitcoin in the development bank, what happens then? Who funds the conversion of dollars to Bitcoin?
That's not the total. That's like a how you say in English? It's like a
The starter package.
approximation. It's like like a proximity, like a calculation of how much Bitcoin will be held in the trust fund, since the trust fund needs to have fresh U.S. dollars to continue exchanging.
Right.
But I don't see the trust fund getting empty, because we'll have a lot of the bank is a very solid big bank, and we are being supported by the country's sovereign ability to get new money. So it's not, and we still the Bitcoin will always have value. So we're not looking at this fund to be empty in any time. It's just going to be handled by experts in trust funds that are just going to be converting this transactions into Bitcoin. But we're not. I mean, we're not giving away free money. We're just exchanging at market value at the times of the transactions. So we're not. I mean, it's just I just made an approximation of what we think we're gonna hold in Bitcoin. It's gonna be like net $150 million equivalent of Bitcoin at market value right now. But that's gonna probably change.
Right. So it's effectively a clearinghouse. And so over time, the trust fund will probably sell down some of the Bitcoin in order to get more dollars to replenish that pool.
Yes, exactly,
Got it.
exactly. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. But it's probable, like the bankers have told me that most likely they will hold the equivalent right now at market value of $150 million in Bitcoin.
Right.
Because that's like the sum they will have in a stock. So they're going to be selling and buying, but they will have like not fixed, but like the same amount of stock in Bitcoin, which is not required by law, but it's like the amount they will have just to manage the fund correctly, so it doesn't fall, or so it's stable. They calculate they will have like $150 million in equivalent right now,
Mr. President,
of market value. The equivalent, the market value right now equivalent in Bitcoin.
sorry to interrupt, Mr. President. They're about 5 minutes away for voting to vote.
Okay, guys.
Bill. 5 minutes away.
Thank you for
The last congressman speaking.
I'm just one
Thank
of the
you.
22,600 people here, so I'm leaving. But I hope we answer some of the questions, and I hope I'm gonna tweet a good news in a couple of minutes.
Yes, thank you. You did.
Thank you,
Best
Mr.
But
President.
I have to look at the vote. It's very important to look at the vote.
Yes.
Right now.
Thanks, Mr. President. You got business to do. You can run. That's okay.
I'll
Thank you
tell you
so
the votes.
much.
How are they coming?
You're
Thank
welcome
you,
back
guys.
anytime.
Yeah. Bye bye. Thank you, Nick. You're the boss.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for saying that.
Nick, I like how you released him like he was going to recess or something.
It's like this was cool, huh? This was
Holy
cool.
shit, you guys.
Hope the bill passes.
It'll pass for sure.
They're voting right now. 65 votes, 66, 68.
Oh, excellent.
72.
It passed.
No. This is just the first vote. They're calling everyone to vote. This is how it works here. So I'm just.
Thank you.
Kareem, are you going to stick around, or do you got important business to do?
I mean, I told you I'm in Congress right now. The president is in the presidential house, which is like the White House or something.
Oh, y'all are in different places. I see. Are your AirPods going to die, or are they still good?
I just connected my cell phone to my iPhone to the charger.
This is
because
probably
I only have 2%. Yeah, 3% now.
We almost lost you.
Kareem, could you give us
60
a
votes,
play-by-play?
60 votes. So it's already 9 votes against, 60 votes in favor, and 10 votes against, 61 votes in favor, 12 votes against, 13 votes against, 14 votes against, 15 votes against, or nay, or whatever you call it. So the bill passes with supermajority. Congratulations to you all.
All right.
Woo!
To you, back.
Huge.
Fantastic.
Huge.
Well
Amazing.
done.
Huge.
We only needed 43 votes, but it passed with a supermajority, which is good because I mean it's representative of the whole nation. The whole nation is behind this, so it's good. I wanted to see this.
Yeah, it's a mandate. It's a mandate.
It is a mandate. So I'll probably show you. Well, I cannot show you, but I can direct you. Let me see.
Before
Our
your
boy
phone
MySpace
dies,
Tom is in here.
Oh no,
are
I
you
already
going
connected.
to
Don't worry.
celebrate?
You go.
Are you gonna celebrate tonight? Get a drink, smoke a cigar. What's the plan after the
Yeah, I
successful
mean,
pass?
not a big party because we still have like some COVID restrictions. but yeah, I'm pretty much going to celebrate watching some Netflix maybe
What are you
by
gonna
myself.
watch? What are you gonna
I don't
watch?
know. Maybe you can recommend something.
Watch a nature documentary. That's what I watch when I want to chill out. They got
Okay.
some good ones.
Watch the rise and rise of Bitcoin.
Wait, they're voting right now. Let me see. "17 against." I'll tell you the number, the specific number of the voting. Remember that we only need 43 votes out of 84. This is the second round of voting right now. And the last round. Don't worry, so.
Nick, how do we top this?
Yeah, I was just thinking
Is this
about that. This
toppable?
is probably the best one for Twitter Spaces ever too. I think it's probably outclasses any Clubhouse chat that ever happened in terms of importance, liveness, clout of people in the chat, maybe even listeners. I mean, this
You know
might
what's
go.
interesting?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, have there even been clubhouses with 20,000 listeners? Is that even within their like technical limits? I think Twitter Spaces might be blowing them out of the water right now.
Nick, I'm sorry to say, but this is not
They're applauding right now at
Princeton.
the floor. They're applauding right now at the floor.
Woohoo!
I don't know if you can listen.
Yeah, we can hear that.
Can you listen?
I'm clapping too.
Yep. So again, congratulations to everyone.
Congrats to y'all, man.
Back at you.
Congrats to y'all.
So amazing.
And Bit Beach. And Jack.
You guys are
And
the
Michael.
first non-pariah nation
Michael and Jack.
to accept Bitcoin.
We need to get Miles Suter up here. Is he in the room? He's had amazing part in this project too. We need Miles up here.
Yeah, Miles is a king. He's at Square. Miles, if you're in here, hit that application button.
Michael, everybody, I'm really in tears.
Oh.
It's been a lot of tears this week.
You should be proud, Brooke. You should be really, really proud.
I'm really proud. I never thought, I don't know, when we got Jack into Bitcoin, we just never knew he'd do this, you know? Just never knew he'd go this far. So thanks, you guys.
Where's Jack? How come he's not in here with us?
He's on CNBC first thing in the morning, so I think he's sleeping.
It's too important for us. Yeah. Well,
I don't know if he's too important, but I just know he's probably
he is.
exhausted.
Believe me, he is.
Did we find Miles in there?
Mouse, you're welcome to join. All right, I'm going to add some new people. What?
Peter, are you going to leave the UK now that other countries are cooler?
Maybe Peter passed out. I think it's like late for him.
Middle of the night there, yeah.
Well,
it's midnight here in El Salvador right now.
6 a.m. in the UK.
Is Peter back in the UK right now? Did he go home?
Oh no, I think he's still partying.
I think he's in New York.
By his feed. I just added Eric Weinstein. Once you connect, welcome. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Thanks very much. No, I'm super happy to be here. One quick question. Which countries do you think are watching this most closely to follow on?
My personal view is Colombia. They have a very high Bitcoin penetration. And tons of Venezuelans living there in Colombia. And Bitcoin is a big rails for transit as a bridge currency.
I think it's also just going to be a race. There's a ton of Central America and South American countries now that are kind of in the game or in the hunt. And some of it may just be who at the top is most passionate about getting it passed. If we really think about, we saw from announcement to passing of this legislation in El Salvador happen in 72 hours, 4 days, something like that. How many other countries can move that quickly? Whoever moves quickest may just get it done next.
Incredible.
I believe that the problem is that one of the main problems is that some countries are very conservative on the prospect of leaving monetary policy out of their controls. So maybe that's the number one barrier. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it being, somebody like Ecuador that, is also dollarized and has already given up that ability to just print money.
I was just going to say, incredible to watch geopolitical forces pushing open source code. Huge victory for open source code tonight.
They're applauding again right now. They're just happy.
That's so sick.
I mean, I know it's a small country and everything, but for us, it's our country. It's the biggest country in the world, so it's really, really awesome for us. What is happening right now? It's just history.
Well, I mean, really, the whole world is going to have their eyes on El Salvador now. Like, you guys are leading the way. Like, you guys are upending the monetary system, and people are going to be following your example. I mean, that's going to go down in history. I mean, that's exciting.
It actually makes me nervous what you said. I mean, not nervous in a bad way, but just like chilling.
It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be in El Salvador, and I want to know how many people in this room have started looking to come on down and joining us, because we need all hands on deck to make sure this thing's successful.
That's for sure. We need everyone.
Has El Salvador looked at picking off sort of high-end talent that's disaffected in the States beyond the crypto sphere?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Can you check? Can you all please check at El Salvador? That's the front page of the paper for tomorrow. At El Salvador. Here on Twitter.
I'm gonna come visit y'all. I was actually planning on doing it anyway before this happened. To be clear, but
Did you
yeah,
guys check the last tweet of that account at El Salvador? Oh, it was deleted. Oh no, there's it again. Did you check it?
I can't even find it.
At El Salvador, just at El Salvador. That's it.
Yeah, it's like the third tweet down in a thread. So you'll see it.
No, it's the. Oh, someone retweeted it because it's getting a lot of retweets right now.
It's just showing that the assembly approved the Bitcoin as money. That's the headline you're looking for?
It's the front page of the tomorrow's paper.
I just shared it. Okay.
It says Asamblea aprueba, which is in Spanish, like the Congress approves Bitcoin law.
Kareem, if you hit share, Kareem, on the tweet at the very top, it'll allow you to like bring it into this chat.
It's up there.
I just texted my team there and told them to buy 100 copies tomorrow. We got to make sure we have this for. This is life changing, world changing.
Also, the president has just tweeted his last tweet.
Kareem, were people down in the chamber like aware of this, like chaos happening on the internet while y'all were doing it out in the chamber?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know because they were. I mean, it seems like an easy job, but it's not an easy job. I've been here, and it's not an easy job. So I don't. I mean, maybe some of them are actually connected, but I don't think most of them are. Oh yeah, I shared it. That's the front page of tomorrow's paper. That's the largest paper in El Salvador right now.
There we go.
Nick, you're trending.
First time for everything.
They should have put a picture of you up there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I tweeted a selfie.
Maybe in the day after tomorrow's paper.
This is like such a fun space. Every time I've done a space, it's been great. This is probably the best one.
Yeah, Nick, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to turn this off at like 10 p.m.
So now only the session has to end. Then they're going to send the bill to the president's office, and he will sign it.
Please take photos for us.
Of course. I'm pretty sure he will upload some photos on Twitter.
Kareem, are they going to like run it over there and he signs it immediately?
Right now, they have to close. They have to close the session. When they close the session, they can send it immediately to the president's office desk. So they send it to his desk, and then he signs it. So maybe it probably will be tonight. I mean, not tonight. Today, I don't know what time slot are you at. But yeah,
You should see if he would be willing to auction off the pen that he signs that with to the Bitcoin community, with the funds to go to the
we actually have
surf training center that we're building in Caddy's honor there in El Salvador, that's being funded by Bitcoin. I don't know if you're aware of that project, but
Michael, the minister of Bitcoin, the Salvadoran minister of Bitcoin. I don't know. Just think about it.
Perfect. I love it. But yeah, it would be great to do something to put, towards the Catherine Diaz Surf Center that we're building with all Bitcoin. So see if he'll save that pen that he's signing that bill with to auction off. I bet we can get a lot of Bitcoin for that.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. We also can have the like the original plate that they use to print the paper.
Perfect. No, I bet we can get those bids going way high. I mean,
or you can just hang it in your room, right?
I'd rather auction that off so we can build that amazing surf center.
Kareem, are there like theories in El Salvador about who Satoshi Nakamoto is? Like who the creator of Bitcoin?
I don't know. Ask Michael. Maybe he has his own theory, but no, not myself.
It's a matter of national
just to let you know, they
now.
just closed the session, so the bill is going to be on his way to the president's desk. So it will probably be signed in
tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Wow.
I hope he doesn't troll everyone and not sign the bill.
I cannot confirm that he's going to sign it tonight. Maybe. Well, right now it is tomorrow. It's 12:13 a.m. So the bill passed June 9th, or did it pass? Did it pass on June 8th?
There's probably a pretty good timestamp in all the tweets that are being sent.
I'm pretty sure it passed on June 8th. Yes, because it's only 14 minutes away from yesterday.
I wish that U.S. Congress was like this. You could just do some live sessions with Congress people while they're voting on stuff. Can you?
Well, actually, I do believe it's live. You can see it on C-SPAN if you like. Watching C-SPAN.
It's not the same, man. I want them on Twitter Spaces.
I don't think they're all. I don't know. Different generations have different spaces, I guess.
Kareem, I think it's time for you guys to announce that you'll organize a Bitcoin conference and we'll all come to El Salvador. I think that would be great.
It depends on you guys. We're not going organizing something that it's yours. I mean, maybe Michael can help us with that.
There is for sure one in the planning for either November or December of this year.
I mean, so, we will gladly help with the organization, but yeah, Michael can help us with that.
The folks that put on LeBitConf have put out some feelers of possibly looking to do something in El Salvador. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it happen this year or not, but they're of course excited by that.
And we invited the mayor of Miami.
Of course. I reached out to his office actually a few months ago, like telling him he needs to come down here. That you guys can be in this together. So for sure we need to get him down.
Kareem, one of the things that I absolutely think you guys should consider and kind of keep moving towards is the trust fund with the development bank is a great start. But I do think that the first country to put Bitcoin in the actual central bank reserves, that will be another kind of historic inflection point of the global adoption of this, which I'm assuming you guys already know. But I think that's one big thing. And there's a couple of people up here on stage who may have some ideas in terms of how you guys can support the mining industry, not just from a pointing to, hey, here's where power is, but there's other things that you guys can do to really kind of incentivize miners to come to the country, use the power, help secure the blockchain.
So you're not talking about government sponsored mining or government mining by itself, but like.
I think you can do both. I think you can incentivize private industry, and also, at some point it becomes a matter of both economic and security.
Is there a government
stability
in the world that mines Bitcoin?
Most of them are not seen through a positive lens. Who do it?
I understand.
Especially from a U.S. perspective. Inside the United States, there's incentives for private industry. So there's all kinds of credits. There's certain states that have provided tax benefits for people who come to their state. But I do think that again, if you're going to kind of be the lighthouse on the hill in terms of creating legal tender, it's a pretty elementary step to set up a mining operation from a state standpoint, and then also to incentivize private market miners to move to the country as well. And you get all the economic benefit of jobs creation, etc.
I agree. I mean, like I told before, this is just the beginning. This is not cliche. This is the beginning. This is now legal tender. And we open a door and there's a million doors afterwards, and then we open those million doors and there's a million doors in each and every one of those doors. So we don't know where we're going to where this is going to lead. It's just, I don't know, it's just new how do you call it in English, like I don't know, but you maybe you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, look, I think that, again, we're always very careful to kind of call out the fact that we are not experts in Salvadorian politics or some of the nuances and the cultural complexities of the country. But I think when you look at, what does it look like for a nation state to enter into the Bitcoin standard or kind of adopt the Bitcoin standard? I think that the legal tender is obviously a massive and very historic move, and you guys will be congratulated for that and celebrated. But I don't think that you want to let your foot off the gas. I think you want to continue to put Bitcoin in the reserves. I think you want to mine. I think you want to figure out how to get infrastructure to the hands of the citizens. And so it's kind of, this is the beginning, and there's ways that the state can actually benefit. And, if you look at it from a self-serving standpoint, if done correctly, there's a very big opportunity for the country of El Salvador to kind of leapfrog many of the larger countries, just from a pure wealth generation standpoint for the country, if you do it the right way.
I totally agree. I think after you put Bitcoin in your treasury reserves, the next step is actually printing currency, paper currency backed by Bitcoin. I think that would be a huge step.
One step each way, I guess. I mean, we're just new in this, and so I don't know. I'm right now. I'm just feeling really excited. People are still clapping in Congress right now. So I don't know. It just brings some tears into my eyes, because this kind of hope in our country, maybe Michael can attest to it. It's what we needed. So many years, so many decades that we didn't have anything forward to look to, and seeing all you guys with ideas and ideas of changing our economy, changing the world, changing how we live. I don't know. It just just maybe too much for me right now.
I can definitely attest that we've already seen that. You know, we bought our home in El Salvador 17 years ago, and so we've been there for quite a while. And in the last couple years since we started the project, just seeing the youth to like dream for the first time in their lives and to have a dream to create a future in El Salvador, and not that they're going to have to leave. And it's been amazing, even to me, like shocking to just see how it changes their whole perspective on going to school, continuing their education, saving for the future. Like it gives them this hope, and they've seen that too with the administration that has changed and is doing things differently, and presenting a positive, you know, view of what the future can hold. And so I think the young Salvadorans have a hope that their parents didn't have.
Yes, for sure. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for everything you said. Thank you guys for accompanying accompanying us on this journey right now with this boat. It was awesome talking to you guys, learning from you, and just thank you. Just thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, Kareem. Go watch some Netflix and relax. You earned it, man.
Thank you,
Kareem.
everyone.
Thank you. Good
Thanks
night.
meeting you. Goodbye.
Thanks, Kareem.
Point of order to the rest of y'all.
And congratulations again. Congratulations to
You
everyone.
too.
It's 2:20 a.m. here. I was trying to go to bed at 10. I'm trying to get like 8 hours of sleep. That's not going to work. But yeah, I got to go to bed. So unfortunately, Spaces doesn't let me transfer it to someone else. So maybe one of y'all can do it after Party Spaces. But yeah, I'm a growing boy, so I got to go get some rest.
Thanks, Nick, for hosting this. You did an awesome job.
Yeah, you're the boss, Nick. You're the boss.
Yeah.
That's presidential decree now. You
It is.
Of everybody.
El Jefe.
You guys don't forget El Salvador this fall, either November or December. We're putting on some type of conference, so make sure you're there.
I'll be there.
Awesome.
Okay, good night, everybody. Take
Thanks,
care.
everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Farewell.
Good night.